You're watching The Mic Check, on every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Let's stop and get started.
That's right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Mic Check. Yes, hi, it's me. I'm back. I was on vacation last week, so I missed last week's Mic Check, but I am here. And today we have a nice little short piece of copy. Probably going to be challenging, probably not. Who knows? Usually it is. Anyway, it's got this Sam Elliott type thing going on where it's got that laid back kind of, well, the dude abides kind of feel, So anyway, without any further waiting or adieu, as they would say, who would like to take this thing first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
Let's have Michael go early.
Oh, okay. Change of pace. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera. All right, I'm actually interested to hear Hurricane Devon's take on this.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera. Damn.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera. Patrick.
Your day starts early. So does your punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera. Rob, you in tonight? Frank.
Had it. Okay, maybe I'll have to go to somebody else because I just had it. Ugh. Where is it?
I barely hear you, Rob.
Okay. Let's see. I'll have to put it again. Okay, here we go. Can you hear me?
Just barely. You might want to turn your mic up if you can.
Let's see. How's that?
Can you put it up anymore?
Let's see. Yeah. Is that a little bit better?
Yes, there we go.
Okay. Now. Let's see. Okay, you might have to come back to me because now it says my internet's. Oh wait, okay. Hopefully it'll let me. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera. Oh my gosh. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera.
Yeah, thankfully it's just a cold read. So, Rob, who's going next?
Okay. Let's see.
Frank, John, or Nathan?
John.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera. However you say that. Nathan.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera. And I believe I am the last one to read, or is it? Oh, wait, did Frank read? Frank did not read. Frank, take it away.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera, or however you say it. That's everyone. Let the critiquing begin.
Yes. I believe it's pronounced Kyocera. If I remember right, I had to look it up.
Patrick says it's Kyocera.
It is. It's
Did you look it up,
Kyocera.
Patrick?
It is Kyocera.
Kyocera. So
Kyocera.
Kyocera is probably the closest English pronunciation. It's a Japanese word,
Okay.
or at least it should be
Kyocera.
pronounced in Japanese. But the
Kyocera.
best English,
Kyocera.
and now the closest English pronunciation would be Kyocera.
Yeah, I've been playing a
Okay.
lot of Japanese video games and watching a lot of anime over my vacation, and I
Kyocera.
should be able to pronounce it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was Kyocera.
Yep.
Yeah, the biggest thing with this one is, one, the pronunciation of that brand name, which in any audition has to be asked for, or you got to look it up, if you can't
Mhm.
specifically ask somebody. And then the way that this copy was written, they threw a bucket load of words in all caps to make it look super emphasized. So it may or may not be emphasized. And the thing of it is, if it's done in the style of Sam Elliott, he doesn't get punchy with his words. At least I've never heard him get punchy with his words unless he's acting like a belligerent character. Like
Maybe it's more of
movie I
like
watched.
he has that deep growl in his voice. Maybe it's more where your day starts. It's more emphasized here.
Yeah, something along that style. The thing of it is not a direct impression. I know that's the
Yeah.
first place, especially us guys, that's the first place our head goes. We won't sound like Sam Elliott.
And that's the question. When it says in the style of Sam Elliott, obviously they don't want a bunch of Sam Elliott impressions. And if they get 50 Sam Elliott impressions, how are you going to stand out? So how
Yeah.
do you
So
look
then-
at this? And maybe do
Here's-
something different.
Yeah, I was going to say, here's the real challenge to this is how do you break down what a Sam Elliott type is? Like, what are they really going for when it comes to the text of the script?
'Cause
That's
if
where
they want
you're.
Sam Elliott, Kyocera can afford Sam Elliott.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So then, yeah, how do you how do you approach that? I guess that's the challenge for this week. How do you approach this kind of script where they're asking you to sound like a particular celebrity? Well, I think the whole idea is how do you get into that headspace? What are they really asking you? Again, we're trying to dig into somebody else's mind here. Now, for me, my personal interpretation of this would be a take no crap attitude. Like, a go get
Yeah.
it done, nothing stands in your way kind of attitude. I think that would be the best way to approach this, in my opinion.
Yeah, because the Sam Elliott type, okay, and the clues in this thing are huge. You're talking about
Literally.
durability. I mean, we're talking kind of along the lines of the way he does the Ford commercials. You know, it's almost the same thing. You got something that has to endure the harsh world of being a shake hands with danger construction worker. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed.
They
Of
want
course.
they want blue collar. They don't want
Yeah.
want IBM.
Yeah, they're talking to guys who work where I used to work,
Yeah, you want a construction worker. You want somebody that, there's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. They
Yeah.
laugh at those kind of things.
And they're not looking for a millennial read on it.
No, not
Okay,
not-
well, I'm out. See you later, everybody.
No, wait a minute, Michael, you don't have a millennial sound. I
No,
mean,
but-
He's
think
smooth
about
and
that for a
sexy
minute.
too.
I think it's really funny how I would love to see somebody who has very little experience in voiceover, like who's just barely dipping their toe in the water, take a look at this, because they would be so confused by the writing. There's so
Mhm.
much stuff that's in all caps here. Your
Yeah.
day starts early, so does the punishment. It's like,
Yeah, they're
not quite.
immediately wanting to do the yelling bit.
yeah.
The way that it's written is just, if you did all of that, it would sound absolutely horrible. And
You need a
nothing
phone
like
as tough
spelling
as your
type.
to-do list.
The
It's like,
the copywriter kept tagging caps lock and didn't know it.
Okay,
Like
then.
that
So
one.
I think though you can actually take a look at this and really also get a lot of clues from the stuff that's all highlighted. And if you really look at the words that are all in all caps, your day starts, punishment, tough, to-do list, dusty, muddy, splashed, sprayed. You don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites, ruggedized smartphone. Like these are all, again, like get stuff done, take no crap kind of words.
Yes.
That's like I think if you really want to boil it down to a single sentence, it's Kyocera is with you when you just want to get through your day and get crap done.
Yeah.
Without breaking your phone.
Yeah, without breaking your phone.
If you're the type of dude that puts it in his shirt pocket and drops it in the porta john a few times, our phone can take it.
So
I
yeah,
know that's
it's
bad, but
so when they ask for a sound alike, what they're really asking for is be in that same kind of headspace, be in that same kind of mental zone. So what are some other synonyms that you can all think of that we could write in here to sort of help your mind focus in on that, get stuff done, take no crap attitude? Like what are some synonyms that you can think of, some other words that we could use to sort of jot down and keep our minds focused?
Blue collar.
Blue collar is a good one.
yes.
That's one you can
But
put
he-
down right on the page. Blue collar.
Rough around the edges.
But-
Rough.
Unrefined. Mhm. Sorry, Devin, go ahead.
That he also has a smooth and sexy quality to his voice.
You see, that's
Dude.
drifting off into I think into the wrong idea of the Sam Elliott type. It's not necessarily
Okay.
about the vocal quality. Once again, it's more about the headspace.
Yeah.
So,
attitude.
and I'm sorry if that sounds like I'm coming off, I'm attacking you or shutting down your idea or anything, but I
That's
do
okay.
appreciate that comment because it does highlight something that oftentimes that's the first assumption when you see a particular name. You think, okay, how can I sound like this person? I actually had a really interesting anecdote given to me by Nancy Wolfson when I was working with her, where she apparently used to do that very, very, very early on in her career. She would try to, whenever she got a script and it said, you know, whatever it had insert celebrity name here as a sound alike or you know, must sound like or whatever you want to put it down as, she would try to hand select the people in her talent roster who sounded like that and send it to them, and she realized none of them ever landed it until she finally came to the conclusion she finally came up with that that's not what they're looking for. They're not asking for sound alikes. They're not looking for a you know, somebody who has the same voice. If they wanted a sound alike, they would probably hire the person they have on there, to be totally honest.
True.
In Devin's defense, the reason he has that smooth, sexy quality is confidence. So put confidence down on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we can come up with another word to sort of hit that same idea. So confidence is a good one.
Yeah.
Add authoritative too.
Yeah, that one fits right alongside that confidence.
Authoritative. All right. Anything else?
Oh, hit the trifecta with my branding and just say trustworthy.
Trustworthy. Well,
there you go.
I'm personally not the biggest fan of that because that could come off in many different ways. I think trustworthy is more of a listener side thing rather than a performer side thing. But that's
trustworthy because he's authentic and he's been there and he's seen what the job site is like.
Rob's got down patriotic. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the top, it does say in the style of a Sam Elliott type. It doesn't say we want a Sam Elliott, but they want, you know, so his style. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing is a guy in a hard hat. He's got a hammer in his hand or he's got an air nail gun and he's telling you about stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's got his phone, he's got a holder for it or something, and he's pulling it out and going, this is what you need.
The guy standing on the rooftop, you know, just pounding that last nail in a shingle, that sort of thing.
And tossing the old shingles onto a sports car parked in the driveway.
Yeah, that's a target, by the way. You see a sports car pulled up to a construction site?
Yeah, it's a target.
It's not going to get treated well. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I watched a piece of equipment flip over a sports car once.
Oopsie, my bad.
I had been sitting on that piece of equipment just before that happened. But yeah, they are definitely a target.
That's what I see.
It wasn't intentional, folks. I didn't do it on purpose. The thing got away from me. I jumped off. I wasn't going down with the ship.
All righty then.
Where were we?
I think we got a good collection of synonyms for what it is that we're trying to go for. So now I guess the idea or the whole challenge from here on out would be, how are you going to construct that character in your head? Who is that from your point of view? Who is that from your experience? You know, how do you communicate that? So I think that's going to be the biggest issue, like, is how do you sound like this person who's, you know, get stuff done, take no crap, just...
He used to make me drop him off on the job site. My men and I need the right tools.
Patrick,
Black & Decker.
Your audio's coming through.
Sorry about that.
No, you're not.
Of me. Nice job.
I was
He's
going back.
cheating.
Oh, that was my
He's getting a reference.
I'm telling Dad.
Oops, I didn't mute my mic while I was getting a reference and a translation.
that come through direct.
Yeah, that went through direct.
Yeah, we heard it over your mic.
All right. Well, that's my demo reel. So,
well, hey, sounds good.
The recording, thanks. Your friend.
Don't tell me you did this spot, didn't you?
No, mine's actually for Black & Decker, but the same thing. J. Michael had to get me out of the corporate piece I had just done before that and into, and it was tough. Go more blue collar, more blue collar. You know, don't say to, say ta. That's
Mm-hmm.
Your
Yeah.
day starts early. So does the punishment.
Yeah, and that's actually a good one. Like, make sure to muddy it up a little bit too.
Yeah.
You know, your day starts early, so does the punishment.
Now, here's the thing. Most people would think because of the pitch and tone that I have in my voice that I might not get something like this. They would be more prone to think in type like Michael would end up getting it, or Frank,
Or John.
or John, because, you know, these
John.
deep, burly voiced dudes versus this millennial sounding guy that's got this pitch that's way up here and can almost sound like a 12-year-old if he wants to. Actually, I can if I want to, but not for this spot, because a 12-year-old voicing this would be, well, funny as crap. Okay.
Not really.
Yeah. So on that note, not your day starts early. Your day starts early.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For the
Yep.
job.
Muddy it up. Muddy it up. You're a work,
That's my
you know.
favorite direction from Frank. I get that term. People go, "What? Oh, it's from my good friend in Canada." Oh, but I like that term. It's just muddied up. Don't articulate. Your day starts early. So does the punishment.
that right there sounds like a makeup commercial. You need durable lipstick, sweetie.
So spackle properly. Okay.
Alrighty then. So make sure that you have at least some of those words down, something that'll help you get into that mind that headspace, and make sure that you have like somebody who you're familiar with who works in that industry in the forefront of your mind. You want their attitude. You want to take on their particular point of view for for this read. So make sure to keep that in mind when we go back through and actually do these reads. So once again, it's pronounced Kyocera, something like that. But why don't we go ahead and head back in?
Okie dokie. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty and muddy and splashed and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
Okay. What did everybody think?
Sounded commercial.
Yeah, and he also sounded a bit forced because he was going right back into that, trying to sound like Sam Elliott more than have the attitude of. I know it's all up in your headspace doing that. I could tell your first read through. It sounded just like your first read through.
Okay,
we discussed it.
It sounded like you were pleading for the customer, for the people to listen to you about what you're talking about.
You just gotta have this thing. You gotta have it, son. You want this phone.
They started out. It actually started out with you pleading, and then you did you need a phone as stuff as your to-do list. You got a little bit of the confidence, and then it just went away.
More monotone.
More monotone.
Honestly, more monotone.
Matter of fact.
Yeah. Flatten that out a little more.
Flatten it out. Matter of fact, like John said, more monotone.
And confident.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how. Oh.
Your day starts early.
That's what I get for watching Barney Fife earlier. Okay. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
Okay.
Still a little silly.
Still selling?
Yeah, it got more salesy towards the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Darn it. Okay.
Yeah, make sure that this is all just statements of fact. Like, this is just the reality of a job site.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, Your day starts early. Like, that's just a statement. That's just what happens. Your day starts early. So does the punishment.
Can I throw one other thing in there?
Yeah, go for it.
Richard, just tell me a sentence or two of where you're from and I don't know about your family.
Well, I was blue collar for 30 plus years. I did route work and packing and going and into places and construction stuff and manufacturing sites. So it's kind of along those lines, I guess. Yes, my day used to always start early. And yes, it was a punishment.
What I was going for is when I listen to you talk, you don't, it sounds like you're putting on a little bit more of an accent for this piece. Generally, people, when they talk construction, they throw Southern in there. Okay, I live in Alabama. If it's not authentic, it sounds, it just does not come across very well.
Unfortunately, it's my Idaho twang I let out again. So it's not really Southern. It's not, it's just, it's.
But you said the right word, twang.
Yeah, it has the twang in it. And when I just let that come out.
Yeah. I
It's,
think if you just go more matter of fact, the twang will go away and the authenticity will come up.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, here goes take 3. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
You had me to the last 2 lines.
Yeah.
It kind of dropped into this Peppered Farm remembers.
I loved your delivery.
He was trying to knock out 2 commercials at once.
Sorry, Patrick, go ahead.
I loved your delivery on the sports car line.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
There was almost a little snark to it. Like, and that's the one that's going to get the roofing material thrown on it.
Okay. So I got salesy on the last 2 again, huh?
The last 3.
The last 3?
Yeah,
right tool for the job is crucial.
The job is crucial.
Okay.
A little state that matter of fact.
The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
You see, and that's what goes in. That's where the salesy comes from. Generally, for whatever reason, after you do a sentence sort of in that right flat range, you like to go up in your pitch. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera. I mean, I overdid a little bit, but that's what happened, and I think that's what's getting people here is you suddenly go up in your pitch after a flat sentence. Remember, these are all just statements of fact. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
Okay.
You know, like it's just statements of fact.
The right tool for the job is crucial. You need the fully ruggedized smartphone. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
There you go.
There you go.
Yay.
Yeah, that had the right feel to it right there.
Okay. Now you want me to put it all together?
Yes, please.
Of course. Why would I ask? Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
Opening it up, what did everybody think?
Yeah, I'd pull the right tool for the job is crucial from the last one, but you nailed the last line.
Yep.
It was out there, wasn't salesy, and now I want to go buy a DuraForce Pro. Thanks.
Yeah. It's nice and relaxed. I'm gonna go buy a 2-year-old cell phone.
Hey, you'll save a lot of money on it. You'll save a lot of money on it.
Actually, think about it. I own a 2-year-old cell phone, so I'm okay.
Mine's 4 years old, so
Thanks for all the directions,
Side
folks.
a
That
little
helps me get
blue.
better.
You can have it for a steal.
Again, you were really close. You just needed to do it better.
Thanks a lot, Michael. Really, no thanks.
All right. So why don't we pull the heat off of Richard? I'll go, and you guys can tear my my performance apart. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
I like it.
I like it, except for it sounded like you were reading every single line started and ended the same way. I know it's supposed to be monotone, and you got the monotone down, but it sounded like you were reading. It didn't sound like it was your idea, your thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anybody else get that?
Yes, that's what it was. I
Okay.
was going, okay, I know we need to keep it down, but it was just monotone reading the words, and here they are, and this is what we've got, and it just didn't fluctuate a whole lot. Now it worked good for the last 2 lines, but some of the other is just a little, it's not going to need a whole bunch, but just a little bit of how you feel about it type stuff.
Because it was all the same, I drifted off by the sports car line.
Okay. All right. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
I like that better. It wasn't so fat. So fat.
It wasn't so fat. Okay.
It wasn't so fat. It was
That was so good. I need some more emotion. Can you give me some more emotion? No, actually,
I want to see tears.
I haven't mastered the ability to cry on command yet, so unfortunately, I need to like punch myself in the nose a couple times before
I
that
can
happens.
laugh on command. I cannot cry. I can sound like I'm crying, but I cannot cry on command.
I can make tears well up in my eyes, but I can't cry.
So, anything else I need to change from my last performance? Any notes? Any insights? Anything?
I caught a hint of like you're coming off as threatening on lines 2 and 4. Does that make sense to anybody? So does the punishment. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed.
Yeah, you were using your mean words, and I was getting scared.
If this commercial was being directed by Quentin Tarantino, it would work.
Then again, it would start off with a Quentin Tarantino commercial and then end off with directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, wait a minute. Dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. The sprayed part need to be seen and being sprayed with blood.
If it was Michael Bay,
is
each one of those items on the list would have an explosion attached to it.
Exactly.
So I was a little too threatening.
Yeah,
I actually think I got that on the second line. I don't know if I got it on the fourth, but I think I know what you're talking about.
And I would back off the word crucial just a little bit and don't change the last 2 lines from the way you did them last time.
Okay. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully you need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot less threatening?
I'd book that.
Yeah.
That sounds like it was you that was thinking about
Fully
this is the job, this is what we're doing. All this stuff happens to you.
Yeah.
It sounded more authentic, if you will.
All right. Cool. That's what I was going for.
Dang, the back fell off my phone again. Michael, what do I do?
You need a fully ruggedized smartphone.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway, Devin, you're up. Go for it.
Okay.
Hey.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
Okay.
Don't shoot me.
Opening
I
it
give
up.
up. I give up. You don't shoot me, please. You sounded like you were very threatening through the whole thing. Your day starts early. So does the punishment.
The Quentin Tarantino thing went to her head.
No, well, when Patrick mentioned it about Michael, I actually tried to listen for it. I didn't have to try to listen for it. It just came out. And you are very over articulating at the very beginning. You did say to-do list, but that was about the only thing you really muddied up.
I just need to have a beer before I do my reads, apparently. Couple shots. Your day starts early.
I'm sorry I didn't bring any beer this week, or else I'd offer you one.
Oh, okay. Okay, so muddy it up and not so threatening. Your days. Now I'm going to go Southern. Your day starts early.
So here's the way you can approach it. Approach it almost like a checklist. Like this is like you're psyching yourself up to actually do this. Okay, your day starts early. So does the punishment. Like you go through that checklist. Like go through the list of everything that's going on.
Okay, checklist. All right. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
I like the delivery.
Yeah.
You sound like you're deepening your voice, like you're trying to go deeper than your normal range. Just bring it up to your normal range. And anybody
Okay.
anything else?
Slow down just a tad, because the closer you got to the end, you seemed to speed up. So keep this started. It was just all of a sudden starting to clip along pretty good.
And you did go Southern, but it worked on that.
Okay.
It's like I feel like I just walked into the convenience store down the street here, and which literally there's a convenience store just down the street, and it just had that sound that I'm very accustomed to hearing around here.
But it wasn't fake dumb Southern.
No.
No, I
No,
grew
not
up
at
in the
all.
South, so yeah.
There's no such
Okay.
thing as a dumb Southern.
Tell the rest of
Exactly.
the world that.
That's the West Virginia. That's not Southern.
Wait a minute, I got family from there.
Apologies to West Virginia who's listening to the recording.
Okay, go ahead, Devin.
In West Virginia, that's the location.
I don't go to.
Yeah, that's
Your day
usually what
starts
they
early.
aim at, isn't it? Yeah. Go ahead.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
You just started reading after on the. There's a reason. I mean, you started out really
Okay,
good.
I'm just
but
not going to book this. I got it.
Good. You don't know
It
that.
was really good. It just started to sound like you were reading it. The sports cars line, and then it just stayed like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's where you kind of started speeding up a little bit too.
Your previous delivery on you don't see sports cars parked at job sites where it went a little southern and it worked very well.
Let's just stay southern then.
So no, don't force it. So when you said, there's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites, make it go down at the end of that as a statement of fact and separate it from the next line. The two kind of ran together. I know I'm rambling. I'm trying to collect this thought.
Mm-hmm.
Two lines kind of ran together, I guess. The reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites, the right tool for the right job is crucial. So they're two separate thoughts, and just deliver them that way. Does that make sense?
Okay.
No?
Yeah. Well, give it a try. Okay. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera. We can move on.
Your pace was good all the way through. I think we're just trying to figure out. There was just something.
Because I'm trying to force myself into a box. I don't do it Sam Elliott type, and I don't think I am a Sam Elliott type.
So
well, just think of his attitude only. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't try for the southern accent. Don't just in attitude only. Okay. Think of how he carries himself in pretty much everything he's ever been in, commercials included. Okay. That's all. Just go with that foundation and leave everything else out.
Remember what Mike
And
said
then do
a
it.
while ago. Put the thought that you're not going to book it out of your mind, because if you audition for this, your voice is going to stand out from everybody else who's trying to do Sam Elliott. You're going to catch their attention anyway. So just read it as you.
All right. Look, your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The real tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
Yep.
How'd that feel?
I like it a
More
lot.
like me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked it. There's a couple word changes, but I did like it. That was really good.
Aside from a couple, yeah. You just have to do a couple pickups on those lines, but I think you got it.
Down.
Yeah,
that's
it.
Thank you.
I
feel better if I just do it more as myself.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You just
Yeah,
brought
and-
the attitude to Sam. That's what you did. You just yourself with a little bit of extra attitude, and that's what they're probably asking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
That's
idea of the discussion earlier.
You were overthinking the direction is what you were trying to do.
Exactly.
I've been known to do that.
Yeah. Well, assuming the attitude is what really puts the act in acting, is just assuming the attitude of, and everything else is layered in on top of that as needed.
Okay, thank you.
You done good? All right, moving on.
Next, Dan.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. It is me.
Yes, you.
After all of the the hateful no, critiques I've been giving, I'm in trouble. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see any fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera.
You said Geosera.
No, I said Kyocera.
They will.
but it just-
Yeah, they might
Yeah,
not
his
like
network got a little fuzzy.
that. Oh, did you say Kyocera and it just sounded like Geo?
Yeah, I said
Yeah,
Kyocera.
something his network got a little fuzzy.
Okay.
So
Dan, I liked it.
So
The
that
interesting
happened.
thing to me is a criticism I might have is one that you gave. I don't remember who, maybe Michael the first time. You said he did everything the same. Yours
Yeah.
came across a little bit like that, but this is something I've struggled with because I'll hear stuff on the radio or the TV, a commercial, whatever, and I go, God, that's boring, but that's what booked. And so it's a conundrum. It really is. When we were doing with Harry Legg, I didn't think I was pushing a word too much. And he said, oh no, flatter, 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 flatter. And when I listened back on the reading, I was like, boring. So it's just, to me, it's just an interesting thing. I liked your read, but now I'm going, well, is it too boring?
Yeah, I thought it was flat, kind of like exactly what he had mentioned to Michael. Is it was, I think Patrick said about halfway through when Michael says, "Yeah, I quit listening after you got to the fancy sports and whatever." And that's kind of it's like, oh wait, he's still reading. I gotta pay more attention. It just I just drifted off, and my mind was skipping through the park.
So you see that the other difficulty is since this is commercial copy, there's going to be music and images going along with it. So something may sound boring on its own, but be played up quite a bit with the imagery and with the music that's going to be playing in the background. So that's another thing to take into account. Just, throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this being either a radio or a TV spot? I don't remember if we did or not.
No, we didn't. We didn't
No,
even
we-
touch that.
No, but if you look at it with the way that it's written, this is definitely a TV spot.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking all those bolded words, all the all caps words are for visuals for
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
There
you're
you
right.
go.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. This is most definitely going to be paired with visuals. So right off the bat, you can tell this is going to be a TV script.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bold stuff is not for the voiceover, the voice actor to do. They're going to have something how your day starts early, maybe a coffee pot and the sun coming up or whatever. Good point, Patrick. See, there was something I didn't think we talked about it, and it's those bold things were bugging me. Something wasn't right. Yeah, you're right. On a lot of those TV commercials, you're not supposed to be the star. The visuals.
Yeah, it's
are.
the visuals and the product. That's the star. You're just you're a supporting actor in that whole performance.
So in that vein, you did really well, Dan.
I forgot what I had done.
Well, then I shouldn't ask. Had you drawn out on the second line? Did you draw out the so?
So does the pun? Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. It stood out.
I did.
And so.
Okay. So what does everybody think? One more time or not?
Oh, heavens, yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera. That was different, I know.
Well, I've got to ask, why do you stretch out the so in the second line?
Well, it was the triple dots there. I was like, do I want to go, your day starts early. So
Well,
does punishment.
the
I don't
triple
know, it's the way
dots,
I
the
talk,
only
I
thing
guess.
that the triple dots are going
It's the way
to
I talk, I think.
indicate.
So
Okay.
does the punishment. I mean, I wanted to stretch out punishment, but it didn't sound like it would work.
Well, the
Because-
three dots just means that the next line is part of the same idea.
Yeah. Your day starts early. So does the punishment.
I
don't know.
I don't think you should be stretching out the so. It doesn't come off right. You got to make sure that you don't necessarily end off the idea on your day starts early, because you're linking the next line with it. That's the only thing it indicates. It's not lengthening anything. So your day starts early, so does the punishment.
Your
You know?
day starts early. So does the punishment.
There you go. It's
Doesn't
because
feel
those
right.
ideas are linked together. That's one sentence. They just broke it up into two lines because they're probably going to have two different visuals attached to them. So I think stretching out the so is actually really awkward in this situation. It doesn't have a place. It doesn't sound right to me. But again, that's just my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, if it were a little more snarky delivery, your day starts early. So does the punishment.
Yeah.
A little
that's
Seinfeld
probably
feel
why
there
it
instead of
feels
Sam Elliott.
Maybe that's why it feels more natural to me.
So does the
Your
punishment.
day starts early, so does a punishment.
Now, it's more of just, again, these are just whoever's speaking right now is just talking about the facts of day-to-day life. Your day starts early, so does a punishment. Like,
And
Eh,
usually
they-
before the sun comes up.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's always hand in hand. So does the
Yeah.
punishment.
I can see the
No.
visual of somebody just tossing their phone into their car, throwing
no,
it in
it's
an empty ashtray or
It's
whatever.
definitely going to be a horse bucking the guy off.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, they're probably going to have all kinds of different job sites that they're going to go to with something like this. Like, they're definitely going to do road construction, building construction, electrical work. They're going to show plumbers at work. They're going to show all kinds of stuff, farming, ranching, things like that. And it's true. The day
Break out a
starts early
Cousin
and the
Eddie pump in the
punishment starts
septic tank.
early. Like, you got to be ready to hit the ground running, and you got to be ready to let the ground hit you, because it's going to. So I think that's just, again, it's just more of an approach of, this is just the fact of life. Your day starts early, so does the punishment. It also ties into the fully ruggedized smartphone. It's kind of they're setting it up and then calling back to it.
It's almost like they're selling this to guys in boot camp.
Maybe. I don't know.
Army boot camp. Marines don't have cell phones in boot camp.
You mean Air Force boot? Oh, wait. That's right. There's no punishment there. No, I'm kidding.
They do fold their t-shirts very nice.
Oh.
Perfect 7-inch squares.
I know. So one of my close friends joined the Air Force. He constantly refers to it as the Chair Force.
So do the rest of the services.
But anyway,
And a box of crayons to the Marines. And
my apologies to my nephew in the Army.
but anyway, so yeah, I think just getting rid of the lengthening of the so is what I'm looking for. Like, connect the ideas and understand that, like, this is just a reality of day-to-day living for a person who works these kinds of jobs.
oh, you want me to read again?
Yeah.
Okay. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
Yeah. That was better. You definitely read off those first two lines as if it was just a fact. Like, this is day-to-day life. So way to go on that one. Anybody else? Anybody have anything they'd like to say about that last performance?
Yeah, you nailed the last two lines,
Well, I get.
which are what's going to sell the phone.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, you made it memorable.
I feel so special.
All right. Well, since we don't have a whole lot of people talking right now, let's go ahead and go on to whoever's next.
Patrick, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your
It
day
definitely is.
Okay.
Go for it, Patrick.
Can I go now? Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera. Thoughts?
I think you nailed it.
Well, the way that you started off the last two lines, it felt a little rushed, and it sounded like you put a little bit more emphasis on need than there needed to be. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. Like, that's the most important part, ruggedized.
Okay.
And then the response to that is you need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera. So I'd like to hear you pull off on the need part of you need. Like, it's just again, just a statement of fact, but the rest of the sentence is what's important.
Gotcha. Last three lines.
Last three lines.
We'll just set up for it. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
And there you go. You pulled off more of the emphasis from need. It was still kind of there, but you pulled it off and put it more on what was on the more important portions of those sentences. Fully ruggedized smartphone. That's the crucial, or that's the right tool for the job. And that fully ruggedized smartphone is the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera. That's the story, and you actually told that. So,
did I come feed enough or no?
Let's see.
Let's see if we can put it all together.
Yeah.
Your day starts early. I'm going to overthink this. Your day starts early, and so does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera. Push too much on the last. Sorry, I'm rich.
And you said the right job.
The right tool for
the right tool. It did. Yeah, it sounded like, oh, I have to say this line now. Is this the line I'm supposed to say? I don't know. And that just one line, it seemed like
oh, you hit job size and it's like line.
Line. Really trying to do a mental break between the sports car line and that one. Because that's, to me, in that script, that's a total break in the action, and I was just my brain.
I'm going to disagree with that because it actually those two play together. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial.
Okay, I can see that.
You see, like it is. I mean, I think there's a because a lot of people would consider driving a sports car.
I see the line. Okay, I understand where you're coming from, Michael, but that line sets up the sale. The last two lines. That's what. But I think I understood what he was trying to. I understand what he's trying to do, because that line sets up for the last two. Okay, you need the right tool. So what you need is a ruggedized smartphone.
Well, the thing is
you're
what I'm saying.
That line links those two ideas.
Yeah, well, the thing that I'm saying is that there is no
Oh.
break in all of it. Like that all strings together. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera. Like you're leading up to that. So what I'm trying to get at here is I think that the biggest thing that would help tie all of this together is just being really, really clear about the story that you're telling. Being really, really clear that you understand that most of the smartphones out there on the market, I mean, take the iPhone 6, for example. People wearing it around, not going to these job sites, had it like it just bent in their pocket. Was it 6 or 7? I don't even remember. You have the Samsung Galaxy 7, which the batteries would blow up. This is talking, this is sort of making comments to those kinds of things. Like it's comparing those are the sports cars to the job site. And some people do drive sports cars to their job. Some people are like super rich and they go and they work in their really high-rise office and probably spend most of their day actually just watching videos on the internet and being like, yeah, I was super successful today. That's sure, that's probably a reality for some people, but not here, not in this world. In this world, there's a right tool for the job. We need a smartphone, but we need one that's going to last the punishment that our jobs have. So Kyocera is that smartphone. All I'm saying here is just be really clear on that. There's no breaks. All of this does lead together. Your day starts early, so does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list because you're doing a lot today. You get dusty, you get muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars marked at job sites because they're not tough enough to handle your to-do list.
Yeah.
They can't handle dirt, but also because the right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. Like ruggedized is key right there. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera. So all I'm saying is that this whole thing really does tie together, and I think you might be throwing yourself off by trying to include that break in there. And you're really, really close. Don't get me wrong. I'm not ranting and raving about your personal performance. I'm just saying you're really, really close. But if you could keep it in your mind, this is all tied together. All of it has a place. It all fits. And it's leading to that sale. It's leading to this is the right thing for you.
3 minutes ago.
Wait, say again?
I agreed with you about 3 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure that my idea was fully communicated. That's all. I know I have a problem with that. I'll shut up. Go for it.
They like to drive their point home, don't they, Patrick?
Rob asked the question, could it be a
I'll tell you
compare
what.
and contrast?
We'll say that again, John.
Rob asked the question in the chat, said, could it be a compare and contrast? I'll leave that up to Mr. Madman Michael to answer.
A compare and contrast could also work as well. I mean, that's up to personal interpretation, I feel. But yeah. Sorry, I'll shut up.
I'll give you one last throw at this. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera.
And that was it.
Thank you,
That was
Mike.
it?
Yes, you got it.
That was the one. There you go.
Nailed it.
It all flowed a whole lot better that time. That was worthy of a golf clap.
I was hearkening back to the days when I've gotten dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. Sprayed with diesel, of all things.
JP5 is fun too.
Yeah. So,
Rob, you're up.
Okay. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera.
What did everybody think?
Didn't need to emphasize fancy sports car. I know that's nitpicking a little bit. Just seemed a little excited for the read. Does that make sense?
Notes on that part?
A little upbeat.
Yeah, it was a little too peppy.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was really solid. The only thing is dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed almost had like a weird playful connotation to it. Your delivery was sort of like, you get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. You know, I'd like for you to just list it off. Like, this is the reality of things. You know, you get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. Like, this is just what happens to you.
And all pretty much consistent.
Yeah, because this is just like, that's the reality of the job site. That's part of the punishment that your phone's got to go through.
Okay.
And yeah, I think if you want to emphasize fancy, make it more of like lengthwise than add a little curly Q on it. Don't say, you don't see fancy sports cars. You don't see fancy sports cars. You know, you lengthen it a little bit, just a hair. But I think that was honestly, those would be the only two things that I'd ask you to change. The rest of it is great, actually. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Go for the second read, or? Okay. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
What everybody think?
Nice. I like the fact that he did not try to deepen his voice for this. You know, I mean, there's one thing about us guys with the higher pitch in our voice. When we try to go for something like this and it says Sam Elliott, we immediately try to change our voice to something lower, you know, which I've been asked to, and it works. But, you know, that's a challenge all within itself and for another mic check. So, but only for us high pitched guys. But yeah, I like the fact that you did that. You just kind of went with your natural self for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, overall,
that
again,
worked well.
yeah, very solid read. Very solid read. All right. Let's see. Who's up next?
I believe I am.
All right. Whenever you're ready, go for it.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
I got nothing.
I'm jealous.
I'm in the same spot.
Tell you what, I want a contrast read.
Yeah.
Rob says, book him, Dano.
No, total opposite.
A total opposite read.
I want you to do a 6-year-old child with high energy and like super excited to be at work.
You think Pee Wee Herman?
Well, when you go this
Don't go character. Make it a high energy read.
high energy in the spirit of the script, though.
Nah.
Asking Patrick.
Yeah,
So okay, make it as announcery and salesy as possible. We'll just do that. Just complete opposite of where you need to be. Announcery, salesy.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
Oh my God, I heard an infomercial.
Damn, I booked that one too.
I mean,
that was still really good. John, that was fantastic reads both times. I can't even.
I'm picturing everything right down to the spilled spaghetti. That works so well.
But wait, there's more. If you now it's
There's a way to do a
1995.
little higher energy in the spirit of the commercial. Where maybe he's at the job site and he's got to kind of yell over some equipment.
No, that's
The
all
entire
I heard.
time, like this is all being recorded right next to heavy equipment.
Bubba stepping on his phone.
Oh, I heard an infomercial that was on at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's just exactly. That was awesome. It was perfect.
Have you lost your phone?
Patrick's really upset. He wanted you to screw up, and instead you gave us a really good second one.
I didn't want to screw up. I just wanted to hear something totally opposite.
And when you go this late in the lineup, you might as well get it right.
Challenge accepted and achievement earned.
No kidding. No kidding. Well,
And it's your turn to do that, Nate.
Yes.
Come on now.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the DuraForce Pro by Kyocera.
I think you did it.
That I could understand tool. It sounded like you said chew or Jew or something like that.
I slipped into my British accent and didn't realize it until after I hit it. And I heard myself saying jewels.
Oh.
The right chew for the job. Anyway, I'll take that line again just to fix it. The right tool for the job is crucial. There we go.
What you did
That
a great
wasn't-
job of right there, Nathan, is not pushing your voice down.
Yeah, I just went with
Authentic.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I was like, I've been thinking this through the whole time we've been reading this. Is just okay. Stay in the middle of the road. Don't try
Do it again.
anything wacky, which is
Yeah,
not
that's-
normally what I would do. But
well, the other thing is it's also really intimidating to get something like this, like a sound alike for, you know, or you get that kind of direction on a script where it says, you know, a Ryan Gosling type. I've seen that before, and you know, whatever. Again, inserts celebrity here type. It's really intimidating because most people think, okay, now I need to do my best impression. And it can really turn them off from something they could potentially land, when what it really is we're trying to get down to the mindset that we need to be in for that.
Yeah,
That's the only
and
reason why they throw that up there.
that really plays. Okay, with a mimic like myself, that really plays with me. You know, because it's like, okay, I can sound like Sam Elliott sometimes.
Well,
It's
this
like,
should
no.
also be a really fun exercise for you specifically, since I know you really like doing those kinds of
Yes.
sound alike work and whatnot. But you need to just, all you need to do is you can still approach it with the same the same enthusiasm. You just need to understand that what they're going for is not the voice. Obviously, it's the mindset.
Yeah,
And
and
that is.
I also had recalled what I had told Devin about the attitude thing and just throwing everything else away.
Mm-hmm.
And with also myself, there is a nice little splash of punctuation in this. And I thought, why don't I just kind of make sure this has enough punctuation in it for me to really see if I'm going to trip through it or not.
Well, the good thing is all the punctuation was really easy.
That was
And this
my
time you
personal
honored all of it.
Yeah. Hey, I did not. I haven't looked at this piece of copy since I auditioned for this 2 years ago. So I had it on file. I keep all my audition copy backed up from all the things I've done. and some of it's
Well, I
toys,
found
so
the
it's musical.
commercial.
But
I found the commercial. It aired at the beginning of this year.
fantastic.
Just so you know,
Wow.
I did find it. I will play it after we're done.
And if my
Okay.
voice is on it, somebody's getting a talking to because I don't ever remember hearing from them again. So,
All right. Well, so who's up next?
It would be Frank.
Frank. Go for it.
Take us
And I
home.
have to follow all of you guys. Come on.
He'll do a
Which
good
means he'll give
job.
us
I
a
believe
perfect
in you,
first.
Frank.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera.
What I loved about that is that it sounded like somebody who's gone through all of that giving some advice.
Yep.
I loved that. That sounded great.
Well, thank you.
I wouldn't have minded if maybe you slowed down just a bit. It was a tad fast, I think.
Okay.
Like if you just slowed it down just a bit would be good, maybe like 1 or 2 notches, but keep that same mindset where your head was is right where you need to be for this.
The way I approached it was somebody was asking me questions and I was answering them.
Well, I mean, that worked out perfectly. That sounds great.
Yeah, I'm like you, Michael. The only thing I saw was just a little bit rushed in spots.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time telling them.
Okay. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera.
Okay, opening it up. What did everybody else think?
You were partially Southern, and some parts were Southern, some parts were not.
Yeah.
Well, the
Well,
parts that,
I mean,
the parts that were a little bit of the Sam Elliott.
just a tiny bit of that slid through his mind.
Oh, I
while he
am
was
Southern. I'm Southern Canadian, but I'm Southern.
just a different
Is
kind
that
of
the Southern Canadian accent?
Are you in Windsor, south of the United States?
Not even close. Nowhere near Ontario.
Yeah, that time around you did sort of you did sort of drift a little bit into the Southern accent in places.
Mhm.
Again, though, that headspace is great. Like, and that pace was better. Maybe I'd like to hear it just a tad bit slower again. But otherwise, yeah, try to stay out of South. You know, the American South. You got a good tone. Again, your mind is in the right place. Everything else is in the right place. Pull off the Southern accent. Slow it down just a bit more.
Your day starts early, eh? Oh, yeah, for sure. So does the punishment there, you know, boy. Oh, you need a phone as tough as your to-do list there. It's a beauty. Way to go. Oh, yeah, you know, you get like dusty and muddy and splashed and sprayed and all them there kind of things. But hey, there's a reason you don't see no Zambonis pulling up parked at job sites, eh? The right tool for the job. Oh, that's just, you got to have that, just like your Timmies and Kriller in the morning. You need the fully ruggedized smartphone. Oh, come on, eh? Don't be a hoser. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera, eh?
Yes, you put hoser in there.
Oh,
That's the one that I'm going to go.
Cut.
I'm gonna
Wrap.
get a book
We're done.
again.
Nobody can match that. That's it. We can't. We're done.
Don't you
I half
know?
expected to look at his panel and see him sitting there with a plaid shirt and a toque.
Plaid shirt or flannel.
Wait.
I got my lumberjack jacket and I got my my beaver tail ready to go. Shall I do it again for real? Or are we
One
done?
more time, just for old time's sake.
Okay. Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed and sprayed. There's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera. I went too commercial on that one. Oh, I'm pulling a
Dan
Dan
rule.
Sorry. I'm pulling a Dan rule. Sorry, I just said that, John. Anyways, moving on.
So besides Frank, what did everybody think of Frank's performance?
So does the punishment.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, that was pretty deflated.
Frank, I think you sounded like maybe a foreman on the job site who's been there and done that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
your
what I got
punishment
from
is
it.
having
Yeah.
to go deal with your workers.
Well, it is Labor Day.
It's like, look out here. I'm surrounded by idiots. Hey, boss. I
I'll try it
dropped
one
my
more
phone
time.
off the building
Fine.
again.
I'll try one more time.
Okay.
All right.
Your day starts early. So does the punishment. You need a phone as tough as your to-do list. You get dusty, muddy, splashed, sprayed. Yeah, there's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. The right tool for the job is crucial. You need a fully ruggedized smartphone. You need the Duraforce Pro by Kyocera.
So you're trying to do something funny with the, there's a reason you don't see fancy sports cars parked at job sites. And I think that threw you off a little bit right at the very beginning. Because it sounded like you just stumbled over yourself.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Oh, I thought he was adding human noise.
No, that's why we're voice actors. We are in the business of making human noise.
Human
But that,
noise as in, there's a reason you don't see.
Anyways, let's just move on to the next one or whatever. Takia's with us. She hasn't read yet. Let her read.
all right, Takia, you're there. Would you like to read?
I guess that's a no.
Okay, well, handing it back over to Nathan.
And this has been a great mic check. And it's great to be back, guys. And I had a lot of fun this last week. We'll talk about that later. But hey, next week, we got another mic check coming up. And we got a lot of big things that come up because, well, we get you guys supporting us on Patreon. So come on, keep supporting us and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. You get to see these videos when they're done. So if you don't get to join us, you still get to join us. Not live, but hey, you still get to see what's going on. So come on, come to my check. You're going to love it. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Join us every Monday for free script practice. You can also find the Mic Check on Facebook and Twitter. If you liked what you saw, then subscribe for more.